If you're anything like me, you're probably wondering what the Raiders are going to do at 7. Like, okay, maybe you're not wondering, but maybe you're wondering what your team is going to do. But for me, I think the Raiders are in an interesting spot, especially at number 7. Now, there's a couple of different options, especially when you consider the fact that there's going to be a lot of good players at 7. There's also going to be some players that you think we might want to take a flyer on or maybe pass on or whatever it is. So, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of run us through some scenarios and just kind of see where things could possibly fall here for the Las Vegas Raiders at number 7. So I'm going to bring you into the mock draft simulator here. Just trust me, I've got it selected to the Raiders. I've kind of tinkered with some things. So yes, speed, high speed, low drag, mainly because I just want to get this, as done as possible because it's the Sports Brief podcast. Anyway, so care for positional value is mostly high here because we do want teams to make sure that they're drafting and being as realistic as possible. Drafting for needs too high up there, and then also randomness. You need a little bit of randomness in your life. Like that's definitely me for my wife. I'm definitely random and out there. But there's some things that always happen in the draft. Like a couple last year when the Raiders took Alex Leatherwood over Christian Darrisaw. Like it is what it is. It is what it is, even though he's more of a left tackle. But at the end of the day, there's always a little bit of randomness that happens with the draft, so we're going to go in here. So the first option is we're going to go ahead. Actually, I'm going to really slow this thing down because I want to just run through these. So we're going to start the draft and pause the draft. So I think, I don't know how we would necessarily go up to number 7. Oh, we can just trade. Okay, so if you want to trade up to 1, if you like Bryce Young, if you like all of that, you're definitely going to have to take a look at that. So obviously you're going to have to give them 7. What would it take to trade up? That's the first option. I think. The first option is to stay, but we'll get into that one a little bit later. But the dream option is trading up for number 1. Okay, obviously you're going to have to give him 7. What else would it take? I think at least a third. Clearly, a 3, 4. 7. No, you're actually going to have to give them a first and a second, it looks like. And I get what they would do. 1, 2, 3. That's a little steep. Man, this is not looking good. There's no way they would want a 1, 2, 3, would they? Come on. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. It would be too steep for my blood if that's the case. If they want a future 1, okay, what would it look like? More future 3, future 2? No. So you're probably going to have to give up a little bit, especially because I think that the Bears want to stay in that 1 to 3 spot to be able to get one of the top defensive players. So makes a lot of sense. It would be a lot. You would at least have to possibly give up a future 2 and your 2 this year, which again, it's an option. And if you love your guy and you want to go get him, fine. That's option number 1, trading up for number 1. Now number 2, and when you get out to maybe possibly 4, I think 5 would probably be a better spot. Yeah, if you want to trade out with the Seahawks, if you want to trade up because there's some other needy teams. Actually, no, not before the Raiders. So again, what would it take for the Colts, let's say? So 4 or 5. Would it take a third? They would take a third to move up a couple of spots? I mean, they would still get their a pick at a quarterback most likely. So I guess yeah, that's also an option. You could trade up with the Bears. You could trade up with the Colts. I do think the Colts will have a little bit more leeway in terms of trading down. So yeah, that's definitely an option. I don't think you'd have to give up a lot there. So you trade up 4 spots and get your quarterback you like. So yeah, definitely not going to take a flyer on the Chicago Bears option. Now, second option, trading down for the Raiders. So number 7. I still think you're going to want to be in line for a quarterback, and if they just for some reason don't love any of these quarterbacks, we'll say, hey, you want to trade down, maybe get some more defensive talent and help you out, maybe an offensive lineman. I think you could go into 11. I think that's a really good pick for the Titans because, actually, I don't think the Titans are actually going to want to trade up. Maybe you go with a quarterback-needy team, even though you kind of need a quarterback-ish. We're just spitballing here, just trying to see it here. So I think there's teams like the Jets, the Patriots, the Commanders there. So honestly, if you traded down with the Commanders, you could probably get a lot. So I think you can get a 2. You can most likely get a 3. Oh, yeah, could you get a future 2? Yeah, that's a little bit much. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you could get quite a bit. 2, 3, and a future 2. I think you would at least try it, and if they say no to that, get 2, 3, so you get an extra second and a third round pick for moving down. What is it, like 9 spots, 10 spots? I would maybe at least do a future third. Seems what's more likely to happen. So you got it there. So trading down, you'd get a little bit more draft capital. You could still get offensive line help. You could also get maybe some if you want to get another edge rusher to help out Max Crosby. Great. You want to get a DB quarterback. I think that they're going to go quick, especially in these top 5, and that would be interesting. Now the last option think is sticking and picking. So, we're actually just going to go ahead and we're not even going to offer a trade. We're just going to resume the draft here. So with a little bit of randomness, what happens here? Okay, this is too slow. I can't take this. Okay, so come on. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, so little bit of randomness. Yes, the Bears, again, they're probably going to want to stick with one of those teams that gets into the top 3 there so they can get one of the best defensive players. So here, staying put, there's a lot of talent here. You talk about Anthony Richardson there at 11. You could possibly trade down with a team like the Eagles. That was probably another team that we forgot to mention because, again, the Eagles are one of those teams that they don't got a lot of needs, and you'd be getting in front of some of those other quarterback-needy teams. Again, not necessarily in front of the teams you're already in front of that needed a quarterback like the Falcons and the Panthers, but definitely an option there. But plus, Miles Murphy's there, Brian Bressy's there. There's going to be a lot of talent. If I could quit punching my microphone, there's going to be a lot of different talent for the Raiders at 7 that they need to look at. So hopefully we provided you kind of an outlook of what that would take. Again, if you're going to try to trade up in the top 5, you're going to probably have to give up at least a second and a third. Trading down, you could probably get at least that because I do think there's some needy teams here in this draft. So definitely think it's going to be something interesting, especially if the Raiders do want to roll with Jarrett Stidham. But I definitely think it's going to be a lot of fun when we come towards draft night and after free agency. But that's it. That's where we take a look at the Las Vegas Raiders options at number 7. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truly awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us in the email down in the description below or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. Well, let us know what you guys think about us taking a look at all the different options for the Las Vegas Raiders at number 7 with the number 7th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft.